What's up, everyone, and welcome back to King's Advisors. So, as you can see from the beautiful Dutton Ranch behind us, we've got some Yellowstone conversations to go on, and it's less Yellowstone, more Taylor Sheridan. So, as you may or may not know, Taylor Sheridan is the guy in the mind behind Yellowstone, 1923, 1883, Mayor of Kingstown, Tulsa King, Special Ops Lioness. He's got a new show, the Landman, coming out, and we're here to talk about it. So the first thing I want to hit is apparently Kevin Costner wants to come back for the end of Yellowstone. Now, if you don't know, Kevin Costner plays John Dutton in Yellowstone. And one of the reasons that season 5 got broken up was because of filming issues with Kevin Costner. He's got this big super movie. I think it's like a trilogy of movies that he's working on. It's this massive like Western epic. And I'm actually a little excited for it. But it kept having him leave to go film that. It kept getting in the way of Yellowstone. And so what they decided was basically split the season up, and it looked like for a long time he wasn't going to come back for the rest of season 5. Which is kind of annoying because if you remember the ending for the first half of season 5, it's pretty wide open. Like there's nothing to make you think, oh, John Dutton's dead. It's not like the end of, I think it's season 3. There's a lot to happen. So let's go through this article and kind of look through it real quick, and then we're going to talk about Landman. So as we can see here, it was previously reported that Costner had completely abandoned the idea to return to Yellowstone due to the conflicts that he had with his movie. However, a new report from Puck News, I'm not really sure what that is, but I've already seen this story on a bunch of other things that I don't feel like I just need to rely on Puck News, has suggested that Costner is now keen to get back in the saddle in order to complete a story arc, which is good because, like I said, there really wasn't a place to leave off. These new reports seem to center on Costner's representatives allegedly attempting to negotiate his return for the final episodes of season 5. The twist in the narrative adds a new layer to the production, as Yellowstone creator Taylor Sheridan reportedly completed the scripting for the final episodes without Costner's John Dutton in it. Now, that's concerning because if you don't know, Sheridan writes the script for everything. Just about every single one of his shows, he completely writes everything for. They've tried to have other people show run and other people script the shows, some of the shows at least, like Mayor Kingstown and Tulsa King, but it hasn't worked out. So he writes all the scripts. And him having already written scripts without John Dutton in it concerns me. Though I will say I would not be surprised at all if he's got a folder of season 5 part 2 scripts already that says basically open if Kevin comes back or something like that. Because once again, they're right here. The potential absence of Costner's character from the final episodes raises questions about the direction of the series and how Sheridan plans to tie up the numerous storylines without his presence. John Dutton's the governor right now. He's done everything so that the Yellowstone Ranch will survive. And it's just crazy to think that you could wrap up this storyline in any decent way without John Dutton in it. Now, we do know that they haven't even started filming yet, and that's probably a good thing because now it does give them the chance to bring Kevin back. Filming, I believe, is supposed to start in 2 or 3 months. I think it's supposed to start right near the end of spring. But enough about Kevin Costner and his drama with Yellowstone. Let's move over to the Landman. So the Paramount Plus drama series Landman is going to star Billy Bob Thornton. And I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. I've seen a couple of movies with Billy Bob Thornton. I've liked them. I think he's done a good job on other stuff he's done. But he doesn't scream cowboy to me. So the official description of Landman reads, set in the proverbial boom towns of West Texas, Landman is a modern-day tale of fortune-seeking in the world of oil rigs. Based on the notable 11-part podcast Boomtown, the series is an upstairs-downstairs story of roughnecks and wildcat billionaires fueling a boom so big it's reshaping our climate, our economy, and our geopolitics. So a couple things about that. If you don't know what upstairs-downstairs means, think Down Abbey. The, let's call it, genre of upstairs-downstairs basically came out of a show called Upstairs Downstairs. And it was literally, you had the elites that lived in the house upstairs, and the servants did all their stuff downstairs in the like basement and living quarters and things like that. So this kind of concerns me a little bit. Where it's modern day, I don't really think the whole upstairs downstairs idea works. Now, what I will say is, if instead of the aristocracy and their servants, it's more like the ranch owner and ranch hands, well, that's one of the best parts about Yellowstone. So that could very well work very good. He's already got that show, The Sixes, coming out about the Sixes Ranch that Jimmy is supposed to return in, and I think we're going to see Rip and all the people that at the end of the first part of season 5 of Yellowstone are heading down to Texas. They're all going to be there. So I really like the cowboying. I think the cowboys make Yellowstone what it is. I don't really think it's all John Dutton and Jamie and Beth. I think a lot of it is the relationship between the cowboys. And if they're able to give that in this, I think it could be a very good show. But what I will say, and I told someone this the other day, the idea kind of screams modern day Dallas to me. I don't know if anyone remembers that show from the, I'm going to say 90s. I haven't watched it, so I'm just kind of guessing there. But it just kind of makes me think of that show rather than just a Texas version of Yellowstone. Now, we did get to see Thornton in 1883, which was a cool role. I did enjoy him in that. Also in Landman will be Ali Larder, Michelle Randolph, Jacob Loveland, Kayla Wallace, James Jordan, Mark Colley, and Pauline Chavez. Honestly, I don't really know any of these names off the top of my head. James Jordan is in Yellowstone, but I couldn't tell you who he plays in that. He's one of the wildlife agents. He's one of the he's livestock agent Hendon is who he plays in Yellowstone. So he's the one that shoots the kid, and I think it's season 4. So I definitely like the actor. He's a cool dude. So I will be definitely interested to see what kind of role he plays in that. Now, obviously, we've got, I believe, 3 or 4 more things we're waiting for in this whole universe. We've got the second season of 1923 coming out, I believe, next year. The rest of Yellowstone comes out at the end of this year. We've got Landman, I believe, comes out at the beginning or the end of this year as well. And then the 4 Sixes show will be coming out, I believe, next year as well. So I'm very excited for all this stuff that Taylor Sheridan is doing. I think he knows exactly what kind of characters to write. He writes good characters, whether they're men or women. They're good. They're well-rounded. There isn't anything that they do that isn't really unearned. And I think today that's a very new thing in Hollywood. They don't really do that anymore. I'm curious what y'all think about this. Are you excited for the prospect of Kevin Costner returning to Yellowstone? My thoughts are that if he does return and Taylor Sheridan does change up the script, that we may even get a season 6, which I would really like. I would really love to see more of this story. And also, what do you think about the idea of Landman? Do you think I'm being a little too harsh with my idea of it being a little too much like Dallas? Or do you think it's going to do just as well as Yellowstone and the other shows? As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on Twitter at KingsAdvisors_.